1. Economics. Economics is the study of the production, distribution, and consumption of resources, as well as the principles and patterns of economic activity. 2. Microeconomics. Microeconomics is a branch of economics that analyzes individual markets and the behavior of economic agents. 3. Macroeconomics. Macroeconomics is a branch of economics that analyzes the overall economic phenomena of a country or region. 4. Supply and demand. Supply and demand are the fundamental factors that determine the price and quantity of goods or services in a market. 5. Market. A market refers to the space or place where goods or services are exchanged. 6. Price. Price is the monetary value of a good or service. 7. Cost. Cost refers to the expenses involved in production or provision. 8. Opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the cost of foregoing the next best alternative when making a choice. 9. Utility. Utility is the concept that represents the satisfaction or value that consumers derive from goods or services. 10. Production. Production is the process of using resources to create goods or services. 11. Consumption. Consumption is the process by which consumers use or purchase goods and services. 12. Investment. Investment is the act of acquiring capital, goods for the purpose of production. 13. Capital. Capital refers to the goods and monetary value used in production. 14. Labor. Labor refers to the workforce or a group of workers. 15. Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship refers to the ability to identify or create new business opportunities. 16. Gross domestic product. GDP. GDP is the total value of goods and services produced within a country, used as a measure of economic performance. 17. Inflation. Inflation is an economic phenomenon characterized by a general rise in prices, resulting in a decrease in the value of money. 18. Deflation. Deflation is an economic phenomenon characterized by a general decline in prices, resulting in an increase in the value of money. 19. Unemployment. Unemployment refers to the state of being without a job or unable to find employment due to a lack of available jobs. 20. Monetary policy. Monetary policy is the use of central bank tools to regulate the money supply and control the economy. 21. Fiscal policy. Fiscal policy refers to the government's use of taxation and expenditure adjustments to regulate the economy. 22. Trade. Trade refers to the exchange of goods and services between countries or regions, often involving imports and exports. 23. Comparative advantage. Comparative advantage refers to the ability of a country, region, or individual to produce a particular good or service at a lower opportunity cost compared to others. 24. Market equilibrium. Market equilibrium occurs when the quantity demanded by consumers matches the quantity supplied by producers, resulting in a stable price and quantity. 25. Marginal utility. Marginal utility measures the additional satisfaction or value gained from consuming one additional unit of a good or service. 26. Elasticity. Elasticity measures the responsiveness of the quantity demanded or supplied to changes in price, income, or other factors. 27. Monopoly. A monopoly exists when a single company or entity has exclusive control over the supply of a particular good or service, allowing it to set prices and restrict competition. 28. Oligopoly. An oligopoly is a market structure characterized by a small number of large firms dominating the industry, often leading to limited competition. 29. Monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition is a market structure where many firms offer differentiated products, giving them some degree of market power but still facing competition. 30. Perfect competition. Perfect competition is a market structure where there are many buyers and sellers of a standardized product, and no single participant has control over the market, resulting in price-taking behavior. 31. Externalities. Externalities are the costs or benefits that arise from economic activities and affect parties not directly involved in the transaction. They can be positive beneficial or negative harmful. 32. Public goods. Public goods are goods or services that are non-excludable and non-rivalrous, meaning they are available to everyone, and one person's consumption does not diminish its availability to others. 33. Elasticity of demand. Elasticity of demand measures the responsiveness of the quantity demanded to changes in price. It indicates how sensitive consumers are to price fluctuations. 34. Elasticity of supply. Elasticity of supply measures the responsiveness of the quantity supplied to changes in price. It indicates how sensitive producers are to price changes. 35. Income. Elasticity of demand. Income. Elasticity of demand measures the responsiveness of the quantity demanded to changes in income levels. It helps classify goods as normal, positive elasticity or inferior negative elasticity. 36. Price discrimination. Price discrimination refers to the practice of charging different prices to different customers for the same product or service, based on factors such as willingness to pay or market segment. 37. Market failure. Market failure occurs when the allocation of goods and services by the free market is inefficient, leading to a misallocation of resources. This may necessitate government intervention. 38. Gross national product. GNP. GNP is the total value of all final goods and services produced by a country's residents, both domestically and abroad, in a given period. 39. Human capital. Human capital refers to the skills, knowledge, and expertise possessed by individuals, which contribute to their productivity and earning potential. 40. Trade deficit. A trade deficit occurs when a country's imports of goods and services exceed its exports, resulting in a negative balance of trade.
41. Trade surplus. A trade surplus occurs when a country's exports of goods and services exceed its imports, resulting in a positive balance of trade. 42. Protectionism. Protectionism is the use of trade barriers, such as tariffs or quotas, to protect domestic industries from foreign competition. 43. Globalization. Globalization refers to the increasing interconnectedness and integration of economies, cultures, and societies around the world through trade, investment, and information exchange. 44. Capitalism. Capitalism is an economic system characterized by private ownership of resources and the means of production, with the goal of generating profit through market competition. 45. Socialism. Socialism is an economic system where the means of production, distribution, and exchange are owned or regulated by the community as a whole, with the aim of achieving social equality. 46. Keynesian economics. Keynesian economics is an economic theory that advocates for government intervention, particularly through fiscal policy, to stimulate demand and stabilize the economy during recessions. 47. Neoclassical economics. Neoclassical economics is a school of thought that emphasizes the importance of individual decision-making, market equilibrium, and the efficiency of free markets. 48. Behavioral economics. Behavioral economics incorporates psychological and sociological factors into economic analysis to understand how individuals and institutions make economic decisions. 49. Game theory. Game theory is the study of strategic decision-making in situations where the outcome of one's choices depends on the choices of others, often applied to understanding competition and cooperation. 50. Rational choice theory. Rational choice theory assumes that individuals make decisions that maximize their self-interest, based on a careful evaluation of costs and benefits.
51. Opportunity cost. Opportunity cost refers to the value of the best alternative foregone when choosing one option over another. It highlights the trade-offs involved in decision-making. 52. External trade. External trade, also known as international trade, involves the exchange of goods and services across national borders. 53. Comparative advantage. Comparative advantage refers to the ability of a country, region, or individual to produce a particular good or service at a lower opportunity cost compared to others. It forms the basis for mutually beneficial trade. 54. Balance of trade. The balance of trade is the difference between the value of a country's exports and imports of goods and services over a specific period. A positive balance is a trade surplus, while a negative balance is a trade deficit. 55. Trade barriers. Trade barriers are restrictions or obstacles imposed by governments to limit or control the flow of goods and services across borders. Examples include tariffs, quotas, and trade embargoes. 56. Exchange rate. The exchange rate is the price at which one currency can be exchanged for another. It determines the relative value of different currencies and affects international trade and investment. 57. Monetary policy. Monetary policy refers to the actions and measures taken by a central bank to manage and control the money supply, interest rates, and credit conditions in an economy. 58. Fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is the use of government spending and taxation to influence the economy. It aims to stabilize economic growth, control inflation, and address unemployment. 59. Economic indicators. Economic indicators are statistics or data points used to measure and assess the overall health and performance of an economy. Examples include GDP, inflation rate, and unemployment rate. 60. Business cycle. The business cycle refers to the recurring pattern of economic expansion, growth and contraction recession experienced by an economy over time. It consists of 4 phases: expansion, peak, contraction, and trough. 61. Inflation rate. The inflation rate is the percentage change in the general price level of goods and services over a specific period. It indicates the rate at which the purchasing power of money is declining. 62. Unemployment rate. The unemployment rate is the percentage of the labor force that is actively seeking employment but unable to find a job. It is a key indicator of the health of the labor market and overall economic conditions. 63. Gross national income. GNI. GNI is the total income earned by a country's residents, including both domestic and foreign sources. It includes GDP plus net income from abroad. 64. Poverty line. The poverty line is the minimum level of income or consumption deemed necessary to meet basic needs and sustain a decent standard of living. It is used to measure and analyze poverty rates. 65. Development economics. Development economics is a branch of economics that focuses on the economic, social, and political factors influencing the development and growth of countries, particularly in low-income regions. 66. Economic growth. Economic growth refers to an increase in the production and consumption of goods and services in an economy over time. It is often measured by the annual percentage change in real GDP. 67. Sustainable development. Sustainable development is an approach that seeks to meet present needs without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. It aims to balance economic growth, social progress, and environmental protection. 68. Financial markets. Financial markets are platforms where individuals, businesses, and governments trade financial instruments such as stocks, bonds, currencies, and derivatives. They facilitate the allocation of capital and risk management. 69. Stock market. The stock market is a type of financial market where shares or ownership stakes in publicly traded companies are bought and sold. It provides a venue for investors to trade stocks and access capital for businesses. 70. Bond market. The bond market is a financial market where debt securities, known as bonds, are bought and sold. Bonds represent loans made by investors to governments, municipalities, or corporations in exchange for periodic interest payments and the return of the principal amount at maturity. 71. Capital market. The capital market is a financial market that facilitates the buying and selling of long-term financial instruments, such as stocks and bonds, to raise capital for businesses and governments. 72. Money market. The money market is a financial market where short-term debt instruments, such as treasury bills and commercial paper, are traded. It provides liquidity and short-term funding for financial institutions and corporations. 73. Financial intermediaries. Financial intermediaries are institutions, such as banks, insurance companies, and mutual funds, that act as middlemen between savers and borrowers, mobilizing funds from savers and channeling them to borrowers. 74. Central bank. A central bank is a monetary authority responsible for managing a country's money supply, controlling interest rates, and maintaining financial stability. It acts as a banker to the government and regulates the banking system. 75. Interest rate. The interest rate is the cost of borrowing money, or the return earned on savings or investments. It is determined by factors such as supply and demand for credit, inflation, and central bank policies.
76. Inflation targeting. Inflation targeting is a monetary policy framework where a central bank sets an explicit inflation target and adjusts its policy tools to achieve that target. It aims to maintain price stability and anchor inflation expectations. 77. Deflationary spiral. A deflationary spiral is an economic situation characterized by a downward spiral of falling prices, reduced consumer spending, lower production, and increasing unemployment. It can lead to a prolonged period of economic contraction. 78. Fiscal deficit. A fiscal deficit occurs when a government's total expenditures exceed its total revenues in a given period. It results in government borrowing to finance the deficit, leading to increased public debt. 79. Public debt. Public debt, also known as government debt or national debt, is the total amount of money owed by a government to its creditors. It is typically accumulated through budget deficits and borrowing. 80. Trade-off. A trade-off is the concept of giving up one thing in exchange for another. In economics, it refers to the idea that individuals, businesses, or governments face choices and must make decisions based on the benefits and costs of different options. 81. Capital accumulation. Capital accumulation refers to the process of increasing the stock of capital goods, such as machinery, equipment, and infrastructure, in an economy. It is essential for long-term economic growth. 82. Productivity. Productivity measures the efficiency of production, or the amount of output produced per unit of input. It is a key driver of economic growth and living standards. 83. Economic efficiency. Economic efficiency refers to the optimal allocation of resources to maximize the production of goods and services. It occurs when resources are used in a way that minimizes waste and maximizes societal welfare. 84. Market structure. Market structure refers to the characteristics and organization of a specific market, including the number of firms, the degree of competition, and the entry and exit barriers. 85. Perfect competition. Perfect competition is a market structure characterized by a large number of buyers and sellers, homogeneous products, ease of entry and exit, perfect information, and no individual market participant having the power to influence prices. 86. Monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition is a market structure where many firms sell differentiated products, giving them some market power. Each firm faces a downward sloping demand curve and engages in non-price competition, such as branding or advertising. 87. Oligopoly. Oligopoly is a market structure characterized by a small number of large firms dominating the industry. Each firm's actions have a significant impact on the market, and there are significant barriers to entry for new competitors. Pricing and output decisions by one firm are influenced by the anticipated reactions of other firms in the industry.
88. Monopoly. A monopoly exists when a single company or entity has exclusive control over the supply of a particular good or service, giving it the power to set prices and restrict competition. Monopolies can arise due to barriers to entry, such as patents, government regulations, or economies of scale. 89. Market power. Market power refers to the ability of a firm or group of firms to influence the market, price or quantity of a good or service. It is typically associated with monopolies and oligopolies, and can lead to reduced competition and higher prices. 90. Cartel. A cartel is a group of firms that collude to restrict competition and control the market for a particular product or service. Cartels often fix prices, allocate market shares, and coordinate production levels to maximize profits collectively. 91. Economic development. Economic development refers to the sustained improvement in the living standards, productivity, and economic well-being of a country or region. It involves various factors, including industrialization, technological progress, education, infrastructure development, and institutional reforms. 92. Income distribution. Income distribution refers to how a nation's total income is divided among its population. It measures the concentration of income in different segments of society, such as the rich, middle class, and poor. Income distribution can affect social equity and economic stability. 93. Welfare economics. Welfare economics is a branch of economics that evaluates and studies the well-being and welfare of individuals and society. It examines the efficiency and equity of resource allocation and policy interventions to promote social welfare. 94. Environmental economics. Environmental economics is the study of how economic activities and policies affect the environment and natural resources. It seeks to analyze the costs and benefits of environmental policies and promote sustainable development. 95. External costs and benefits. External costs and benefits are the positive or negative effects of economic activities that are not reflected in market prices. They include externalities, such as pollution, congestion, and ecosystem services, which impact society and the environment. 96. Public choice theory. Public choice theory applies economic analysis to the study of public decision-making processes and government actions. It examines how individuals' self-interest and incentives shape political behavior and influence public policy outcomes. 97. Behavioral economics. Behavioral economics combines principles from economics and psychology to understand and predict human decision-making. It explores how cognitive biases, heuristics, and social influences impact economic choices and outcomes. 98. Development aid. Development aid, also known as foreign aid or international assistance, refers to the financial, technical, or humanitarian assistance provided by governments, organizations, or individuals to support the economic and social development of low-income countries or regions. 99. Capital flight. Capital flight occurs when individuals, businesses, or investors move their assets, such as money, investments, or businesses, out of a country due to economic or political instability, high taxes, or unfavorable business conditions. 100. Black market. The black market, also known as the underground economy or shadow economy, consists of illegal or unregulated economic activities that operate outside the formal channels of the economy. It includes activities such as smuggling, counterfeiting, and illegal trade.